I've been doing worm composting for about 10 years, and I use a 2-bin system. So the bottom bin just has holes drilled on the sides, and then the top bin that settles down into it has holes on the bottom, the sides, and the top. And that just allows any extra moisture to go through to the bottom, and you can use that to water your plants. And either inside or outside, you just want to dilute it quite a bit because it is pretty strong, because it's a lot higher in nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus than a lot of fertilizers are. And then you just want a snug fitting lid. That's why I like these bins particularly, because the lid slides on and holds on really nice. So inside the bin, I just tear up newsprint and any like brown paper, paper towel rolls, anything like that. Just get it damp, and that's what I use for the bedding, because some places do sell bedding, but I've never bought it that way because this has always worked for me. And then this morning I just fed them a banana, and right now they're working on some potatoes and asparagus as well. And then the worms, I don't know if we'll be able to see any. Nope, there's one little guy here, because they like it dark, so usually as soon as they're exposed to the light, they'll burrow down into their bedding. And that's partially the reason why we cover it up with damp newspaper and paper as well, to kind of hold the moisture in and cover them up so they're not exposed to all the daylight. And it's really important to have the holes drilled so they get air circulation, because they breathe through their skin. And they can pretty much eat most vegetables except for onions are not recommended for them. Salty foods aren't recommended. Citrus fruits are not recommended. Dairy, meat, that type of thing. But pretty much any other trimmings from the garden or when you're preparing your supper can be fed to them, and they'll break it down and reproduce, and you'll have a vibrant worm farm pretty soon. And sometimes you can buy castings in the store too, because some places do sell bags of castings, but you don't know how old they are or what they've been fed or how they've been treated. So it's nice to be able to do it this way, because then you know exactly what goes into that. But all of this brown material are their castings, and all of the food waste that they broke down. There's a worm right there. And so when you go to harvest it, I usually scoot all the worms off to one side, start feeding them on the other side, and then all the worms migrate over to that other side and eat. And then that minimizes the worms that you get in your collected castings. And you can use the castings fresh, right out of the bin in your house plants, or what I do a lot of times to make it go further, this is a paint strainer bag, and I'll put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and it's really nice because it has a closable seal on it. Put some of the compost in there and just let it steep in water, and it makes a compost tea, and then you can spray that on your vegetable garden, or you can dilute it and use it for houseplants as well.
The compost tea is nitrogen rich?
Very nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And it really, when you're applying it out to your outside garden, it really feeds the soil microbes and kind of energizes them as well. So it increases that too, so you'll get healthier plants and healthier soil.